Hello viewers, welcome back. We are now looking at the quick access toolbar. This is going to be showing us both a demonstration on the quick access toolbar and how we can actually customize our quick access bar to increase our speed and efficiency when working with the Excel software. So before we look at this, let's maybe first cancel this for a little bit and we have a look at some of this. So for now, for this discussion on the quick access toolbar, as you can see, we are just on the spreadsheet. We are not even in the settings. And this is the way that we want to demonstrate the motivation for using the quick access toolbar. And by the way, if you haven't seen a demonstration on how to use the quick access toolbar before, you are going to love it. So let's jump in and take a peek on that. So maybe we may try to zoom in a little bit. Control Alt equals to help us to zoom in and out a little bit. So we have now zoomed in into a really high zoom level like that. And now let's try to drop a number in this cell. Let's just drop a number maybe in this cell. Let's just put in that cell B2. Let's say we are going to put in 888. Let's just say 888 and we hit enter. Now let's move the cursor right here so that we are in that cell B2. And let's suppose that we want to increase the number of digits after the decimal, and we definitely want to do this with the keyboard. So let's tap the Alt key and we can see the letters now we want up here. You are seeing the letters that we have, but now we want this letter up here, H for home. So we place H for home. We can see more letters appear, and all the way over here is what we are after, increasing decimals. That's where we are after. And we can see just below that there is a 0 here. So now let's tap that 0. So I've tapped the wrong 0. Alt H 0, not O. It is a 0. It has put in 1 decimal point. We've put in 1 decimal point. In other words, we have 1 decimal place. And now to do that again, we would actually just click Alt H 0, Alt H 0, Alt H 0 to keep on increasing those figures. Alt H 0. We keep on doing that repetitively so that we can get more decimal places. Now we have 3 decimal places, just like the way we've done. Now we are seeing that we have a lot of key strokes, plus some of these keys are not even easy to reach. So let's navigate how to remove some decimal places now. If we want to do that, then we would hit Alt H for home, And we can now see right up here, we need to hit 9 just to decrease decimals, just like that. And again, to increase the decimals, it means we are going to place Alt plus H plus 9. So it is Alt H 9 to increase, to decrease decimals. So to get back to where we started, you just increase, it is Alt H 9. So we are now back to where we started. So changing the number of digits after the decimal is something that we might want to do quite often. But the keystrokes are kind of cranky in order to do that. So this is going to be an ideal thing we could do in our quick access toolbar. So again, to access the Excel options, we said we place Alt F, because those are some of the things that we want to see. Now I want to go back to the settings, quick access toolbar setting. So we said we place Alt F for file, and now we want to look for the word options from the left hand side here. Want to look for options. So we have to place double zeros to have options. Then we use the down arrow to go to options. Then we press enter, and that takes us to our Excel settings. So since we are in those Excel settings, so let's now try to navigate through these Excel settings using the down arrow. We move downwards up to that quick access toolbar. So as it stands right now, quick access toolbar over here, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 items. We have this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 items that we are seeing in our quick access toolbar. And these may be similar to the items that you have in your quick access toolbar as well. Now, we are going to recommend that you actually take these items out of the quick access toolbar. And the reason as why we are actually recommending you to take these out of your quick access toolbar, well, they are taking up very valuable space. Plus, they already have dedicated shortcuts. For example, the save. Like we have some of these, we have the save. These, we need to remove them because we know some of these shortcuts that have been there for long. We know that if you want to save a document, you press Ctrl plus S. That is to save. Ctrl S. That is to save. So everyone knows that. So that's why we need to remove it, because it is taking our time, yet we know the shortcut. And our emphasis is actually to use the keyboard. So we have to remove those that have dedicated shortcuts. Then there is also undo. This undo you are seeing here has already a dedicated shortcut of Ctrl Z. The redo has a dedicated shortcut as Ctrl Y. So we always have great keyboard shortcuts for those particular functions. So leaving them there, it is just a wastage of space because we know they are shortcuts and everyone knows them. So we need to remove all of those 3, specifically those 3. Even this emailing, not all the time that you are going to be emailing these documents, but we may talk about those a little bit later. But at least these that have dedicated shortcuts commonly used, we can just remove those already. So removing them is easy. Let's just click on this one. When you click on, say you click save. When you click on this, save, you come here, you say remove. It has gone. Then when you click on undo, you go to remove. Redo, you go to remove. We've removed. We can add, we can remove. But to remove something, you need to make sure that the cursor is in that item that you are, or that item is highlighted, so that for it to actually just disappear. So we've removed that, and it is very fast. Now, we want to find increased decimals. Let's go over here and change popular commands, because now we want to look at, when you're seeing here, up here it says popular commands. These are the ones that you will basically find, they are the ones that are common, the whole of this list. The list is very huge. Those are the popular commands. But now, since we've seen that increasing decimals and reducing decimals was actually taking our time, in other words, their shortcuts, they are a little bit hard for us to memorize. What do? We make sure that we put those shortcuts in our quick access toolbar, so that we can save time. We are looking for all options that we can have to make sure that we save time. So let's go, as I said, we want to find increased indent, because we've seen its shortcut is a bit complicated and hard to memorize for those who can't actually memorize it. So let's go over here and change the popular command here, and we replace it with commands with, we just put to all commands here, because increased indent is not all that popular. That's why it will not be reflected. It might not reflect there. But if we go there, then we can now go down into here and hit I. Now we are just looking for, when you hit I in there, it will bring for you those items that are starting with I. We have increased decimals there. When we hit I for increased decimals, for increased decimal, and we've scrolled down, we've seen that we can actually put that, we can actually add this item here. We add it to our quick access toolbar. So what do? We've clicked in increase decimals. So what we do, we now want to, we are going to click add, so that it's, we come here, we click add. When you say click add, it has been added to our quick access toolbar. That's one of the things that we wanted to customize. Same thing now for decrease decimals. When we go back here and we just type in D. When we hit D, we go down and find decrease. We scroll down to find decrease decimal. It is here. Decrease decimal. So it is a very huge list that we are seeing. That's why we are searching some of those things right here. But you've seen. Now we are going to click add. We add it to our quick access toolbar. And that is in the quick access toolbar as well, because now we are adding to our customized quick access toolbar. It means that has been added to the other side as well. Now that we have this, we have these two configured, we can now click OK. We can now click OK on this item, and we go back to our Excel sheet and we see how it has reacted. But now before we do that, you see these things, we have inserted them in between these two letters. You can just come to these arrows here. These arrows, they mean move up or move down. So I want these ones to be up, then this one to be down. So I can just make this one to move it down a little bit, let it be that side. So I've moved it from the top to now to be the second last. So that's how we can actually do that. And we come here, we click OK. When we do that, it means we have changed our quick access toolbar. That's now you are seeing how it looks like. We've removed the other items. So now the quick access toolbar is located right up here. This is the quick access toolbar. Where I'm pointing is the quick access toolbar. And I'm seeing there is increase decimal, and right besides it, decrease decimal. So let's take a look at how to use these to make sure your cursor is right within the cell that we are talking about. So maybe let me just take a screenshot for those who actually can't see the quick access toolbar. It's this point, the one you are seeing up here. That is, I can paste it here. That is our quick access toolbar. It's very long because it has, maybe you can try to zoom. This is what we are talking about. If you zoom in a little bit, we can actually be able to see it. Can make it a bit wider. Maybe we'll try to resize it. So that's what we are talking about. That's the one. So we can now delete it since we've seen. So here we had we take back to where we were. So if we want to utilize anything that within that quick access toolbar, like want to put those increase decimal and reduce decimal. So we have to make sure that our cursor is within that area that we want to increase the decimal. And right now, our figures that we want to increase decimals are 888, and they are within cell B2. So let's tap the Alt key on our keyboard. And now you can see up here, we have 1 for increase the decimal. We have 2 for decrease decimal. So now to increase the number of decimals, we just press Alt 1 a couple of times. So we can just come here and say 1, and we have increased Alt 1, Alt 1, Alt 1, and we keep on increasing. Instead of dialing the other previous shortcut that we went through, because it was a little bit long. That's why we customize our QuickBooks, our quick access toolbar, so that we can have some of those shortcuts shortened. So now to reduce or to decrease the decimals, we have to go ahead and say Alt 2. We just press Alt 2, Alt 2 a couple of times, Alt 2, Alt 2, and we have gone back to where we were. So you can now see how the quick access toolbar can really speed up things. Remember, the reason that's why we are doing some of these things is we want to save the space in our quick access toolbar for those functions that you are gonna be accessing quite frequently. And for the ones that you that don't have great keyboard shortcuts already. In other words, they don't actually have great shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts dedicated to them. And if you haven't seen a demonstration like that about the quick access toolbar before, hope you enjoyed it. It's really going to help you speed up your efficiency on the keyboard. And that's all that we can actually look at for now. But before we close off this, let's look at one more thing that is going to wrap up our chapter 4, our chapter 2 of the Excel fundamental course, which is within this Excel settings, because our Excel setting is our chapter 2. So we can go back to Alt F for file, then 00 for more, then we use the down arrow to go to options, we press enter. So one thing that is remaining, we can use now the down arrow here to navigate through. What is remaining is now from the quick access toolbar, we have the add-ins. And you can see for the add-ins, it has also different things. There is logic there. So we need also to have a separate discussion on that. That's where we are going to see how to add in some of those plugins that you may get, like Macabacus. So we need to look at some of those things and we see what we need to do. So let's meet in the next video as we are discussing the add-ins.